A killer's loose in Seattle with a feeling that won't subside. They see happy couples and they fantasize, saying you're mine, and tonight I'm gonna have you on the edge of my knife, for I am Heart Eyes. One more feeling will be the knife across your throat. I'm Heart Eyes. As I watch the life leave your eyes, for I am Heart Eyes, which was directed by Josh Rubin, who did Scare Me and Werewolves Within, and was written by 3 people. Remember that as I go on about this. Philip Murphy, who did Expendables 4. I mean, Shakespeare could have been resurrected. You could have brought back every single good and great and legendary goddamn writer back from the goddamn dead. Transporter Ones from Other Dimensions and Expendables 4 wouldn't have been any fucking good. So no blame on Philip Murphy for that movie. Christopher Landon, who has done a lot of movies, some good, some questionable. Freaky was one of them. Freaky was actually pretty good, but check out his IMDb page. And also Michael Kennedy, who did It's a Wonderful Knife. Whoa, oh, It's a Wonderful Knife. Whoa, oh, I'm sorry, Ace of Base. I'm really sorry. But anyway, It's a Wonderful Knife was actually a very entertaining satire, satirical comedy slasher, as opposed to non-satirical comedy slasher, where basically it was self-aware and it understood the assignment. Justin Long was good in it, and also it had a really fancy mask and everything, and it was just a lot of fun. So speaking of which, let's talk about Hard Eyes, because Hard Eyes is also a whole lot of fun. Before I get into the plot, I'm just going to say I fucking had a teetotal blast with Hard Eyes from beginning to goddamn end. You have Devon Sawa. I'm so thrilled that Devon Sawa is getting to be in big projects like this after having a pretty good rise as a child actor and doing good stuff in Final Destination. He was tremendous in Final Destination. He overcame addiction, has been sober for years, is a great follow on social media. And no, really, I'm fucking thrilled Devon Sawa is in a film like this. But he plays Detective Hobbs, and then, of course, you have Jordana Brewster, who plays Detective Shaw. No, really, that's what they call him. Jordana Brewster, by the way, my word. My goddamn word. But they are 2 detectives investigating the recent string of murders by the Heart Eyes Killer, H.E.K. Except, unlike HBK the wrestler, the Heart Eyes Killer can look you straight in the eye because they have a really cool mask that has these heart-shaped eyes in a movie called Heart Eyes. My God, movie, give me a chance to catch my fucking breath and realize the absolute monumental detail and depth that you have here. But in all seriousness, really cool mask. Really, really good shit. And basically our 2 leads that we focus on, Allie, Olivia Holt, who was in Totally Killer, and Jay, played by Mason Gooding, who was in the most recent Screams. Really good, terrific actor, by the way. Just want to say I wish him nothing but success. And Allie, by the way, is coming off of a bad breakup. She has her friend, Monica. That is also exactly how Hulk Hogan wanted to introduce Titus to everybody. If you get it, you get it. Nevertheless, she's played by Gigi Zimbato, who, Jesus, with absolute respect, my God, an absolute smoke show. That being said, there are other characters that, that come into this whole story, but the idea is there is a killer that has gone from Philly to Boston, or Boston to Philly, however you want to go about it, and now has decided to come over to the West Coast for some reason that we find out why a little bit later, because I will say the one knock against this movie is it's very obvious who the killer is. Like, from the moment they introduce a character, from the moment they show one particular thing about this particular character, it is super fucking obvious. Now, that's not a bad thing. It's satirical. It's funny. It's ooey gooey. It does have some really creative kills that I'll talk about in the spoiler section. There is one that you saw in the trailer that involves a couple that is going at it and everything, and a certain implement is used. That's fucking creative. I think Mason and Olivia's chemistry is fucking tremendous, off the charts. There are a couple issues I have. They seemingly forget about some plot elements and then just decide to wrap them up here at the end. But then again, I'm not supposed to take this so goddamn seriously. It is a whole lot of fun, though. Again, ooey gooey, bloody, hilarious. I was laughing a lot. This was very, very fucking enjoyable. This is the kind of winking at the camera stuff that movies can get away with when you earn it. And this movie earned it. From the very beginning, it set the tone, right? With Amazed, and then transition to Genuine's My Pony. Which I absolutely goddamn just had a teetotal blast, remembering how goddamn ridiculous that song is and how nasty that song was. Why in the world were we allowed to listen to that at my age? I have no idea. But the idea is basically the Hard Eyes Killer is cutting the swath, doing some good stuff, and actually it really just it ties up beautifully, even if it's a little bit messy, because it all makes sense in the sense that it's, again, not meant to be taken so goddamn seriously. Now, when the movie there's a point where the movie kind of grinds to a halt, and I mean, I get it, because they want to have two characters kind of have a heart-to-heart and have this stuff. I get it. But it also kind of ground the movie to a halt. The movie, however, is only 97 minutes with end credits. And actually, it mostly speeds by. I say 90% of this movie speeds by. And even the part where it kind of grinds to a halt doesn't last all that long. It feels like, oh, okay, kind of wish we wouldn't have done that. Wish we would have gone a little bit. But it does make sense. You can't have just go full blast, boom, 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 all the time. But again, creative kills. Very, very funny lines. Jordana Brewster looking as only she can look, looking absolutely amazing. And Olivia Holt, after Totally Killer, which was a fun movie, by the way. I checked that out on Amazon. There's a lot of good stuff to enjoy here. And really encourage you guys to check this out in theaters whenever you can, because it's getting a wide release. I want movies like this to be successful. I don't think it cost all that much money, but hopefully this does pretty well, because between the two movies that I watched today, this was the much better of the comedy. Anyway, I'm going to get into spoilers. So, that being said, in theaters soon. Spoilers. In theaters soon. Like it's going to be in theaters by the time, this review drops. But basically the idea is there is a killing in the beginning with a couple that's doing some, that's trying to do their own, proposal, will you marry me? And it's like this beautiful, lavish thing with some goofy green screen effects, but the redhead is beautiful, I do want to say, and the guy is proposing, but he put the ring in the strawberry, she didn't want that, oh no, you're not supposed to do that. Well, then it turns out that the cameraman that was supposed to be shooting this and recording this didn't get it right. Hey, can you do it again? And he's yelling about it. Sure, yeah, I'll just propose to my fiance again. And he goes to do that. Well, of course, Hard Eyes is there and stabs a guy through the lens with his, knife machete thing, which actually is pretty goddamn creative. I really like that. And then he targets, they basically target these two. It's really, really funny. Kills the guy with an arrow through the eye. I took an arrow to the knee, and then targets the redhead. Puts her in a the winery presser thing to press the grapes down and press the juices out and everything, and just pulps her, which is really fucking good. That's a really fucking creative one. And then they go to we smash cut to Seattle, where they say CDA or CBA News. Yeah, no, that's in Coeur d'Alene. That's in Coeur d'Alene. That's wrong. That's wrong. How dare you get that wrong? That is nowhere near Seattle. Coeur d'Alene, Idaho is nowhere near Seattle. So anyway, Allie is afraid she's going to get fired from her job. She works for a really, really, nasty boss. She's coming off of a bad breakup. She has a friend Monica, who again, Gigi, what a smoke show. Good grief. With respect. But anyway, she's trying to encourage her to, just be yourself, this kind of stuff. Get out and date. Well, she ends up running into a guy named Jay at the coffee shop. They end up ordering the same thing, basically, and it's such a weird order. But then the barista guy, whatever the hell, says, actually, it's a pretty common order. Now, get the hell out of here. We're trying to make some, we're very busy. It's not Starbucks. We can't say Starbucks. So, anyway, the whole theme of this movie is everyone has a fetish. Everybody has a fetish. And that was something that was touched on between Hobbs and Shaw when they were investigating the redhead who got pulped. And Shaw is looking for love and has a match and everything. This kind of stuff, because she's desperately looking for love and matching on stuff like that. And remember that for later. But there's some good setup with Jay coming on the team. And, actually he was flown in and he's here to help basically the marketing and stuff like that. There is a Romeo and Juliet jewelry ad where, like, the creativity of, like, ribbons and stuff like that or whatever for, like, violence going on. Really good stuff, by the way. It wasn't just Romeo and Juliet, it was violence in general, but pretty damn good. I really liked how they had the ribbons fly out and stuff like that. Beautiful cinematography. And then, Jay comes on, and she's like, oh my god, I met this guy. And he wants to take her out because he's smitten with her. But also, he's like, let's work on this stuff. She kind of ends up telling him off at the dinner because she's had a bad breakup. She walls herself up, all this. And Jay's like, yeah, it's okay, it's totally fine. Let's just call it. Well, then she ends up seeing her ex and ends up kissing Jay. And that puts them in line with the goddamn Heart Eyes Killer, who's always watching. And Hard Eyes basically ends up going after them. There's some... What's kind of hilarious is they go back to her apartment, and after she forgot her keys somewhere, Jay has this bright idea to break open the glass with, like, a cloth on there. And okay, that's not so bad. That's bad, because he had a cut on his hand. And then she reveals that she was in med school, but she got an advertising because she's squeamish about blood. She has a phobia about that. And obviously, if you're squeamish about blood, being in the medical field, probably not the best idea. But she ends up basically, her and Jay, it's pretty obvious they're going to be together by the end of the movie. Or will they? Who knows? Maybe one won't survive. But they're aware of the Hard Eyes Killer thing, and she opens her closet and then realizes Hard Eyes is in there. How long was he in that apartment? How long was he in that closet? How did he get there? It's fine. It's fine. Actually, I think we find out a little bit later how he did. But they basically have this on again, off again, beating him up, running away from him, that kind of stuff. Jay ends up hitting his head, and Allie runs away. And then Hobbs and Shaw show up because Hobbs and Shaw had talked to her before, and they end up arresting Jay, thinking that it's Jay. Well, it's obviously not Jay because Jay just suffered a big head injury, but obviously it's not him. And Allie and him kind of have an argument and stuff like that while he's handcuffed in the car. And then we get a pretty good scene in the police station. I thought we were going to go Jeepers Creepers here. Thankfully, Victor saw that piece of shit isn't involved. But Jay's being interrogated. Devon Sawa is pissed off. He's like being the bad cop. And then Jordana Brewster's being the good cop. And she ends up basically, kind of trying to get a confession out of him and everything. She looks great, by the way. I would fold like a sheet. But, nevertheless. Then, suddenly, Hard Eyes is there. Hard Eyes ends up killing the one guard lady. Like, that's how many people are in this police station. Probably indicating the budget might have not been all that high. But, the lights are out at this point. Ends up getting impaled by a flag. And... oh my god, Hard Eyes has infrared eyes, which is actually pretty creative. We get to see... I wish we'd done a little bit more of that. Maybe not every single time, but a couple times. But that being said, Jordana Brewster, is wondering what's going on. And Devon Sawa has a pretty good death. He gets split from growing up. Pretty good. That was pretty good job on the death there, Devon. That was pretty good. Like, Devon's going to watch this, but good stuff there. And then, basically, she ends up... There's this funny part with Jay where he's handcuffed to, like, the table and he's having to run around him. And then Allie gets a gun, is shooting through the interrogation glass, and misses the killer at point-blank range. I mean, that's just egregious. That is... I don't want to trust her to park my car or even bring something through the door if she can't aim that properly. So then the idea is they're trying to figure out what the hell is going on. They're still on the run. They get to this drive-in, and then this is where I thought the movie kind of ground to a bit of a halt. They talk about their respective parents while another couple's like banging and fucking in the back. because they're thinking it's a role play thing because they're high as fuck. Jay talks about his parents not staying each other, couldn't stand each other. He wanted to show that love was really something that could conquer all. Allie lost her dad at a young age, and that kind of ruined the mom. Which, yeah, you lose the love of your life, that would do it. But then this gets to another creative kill. I mean, and there are some creative kills at this point because Hard Eyes is just going around slashing people. You thought he was only supposed to target couples, but nope, just boop, 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 boop. Oh, you're here at the drive-in. You must be in the couple. No, 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 no. And then the couple that's banging and everything gets... The guy gets a tire iron shoved through his goddamn mouth while he's laying down. And then the girl gets, shoved down on top of it. So then we see a look through her hole, her new hole. There's always a new hole with women. Moving on. Basically, they end up wanting to run away. Jay wants to run away. But then Allie says a line that didn't make a whole lot of sense. Well, no, we brought him here. We need to take care of this. We're a team. So they end up actually teaming up and end up killing Hard Eyes. They end up, basically, Allie hits him in the head. And then, enough. And then Jay ends up stabbing him through the goddamn chest. So he's dead. Who is that? Because he's unmasked. We don't know who the hell that character is. So then we get a little Scream-like. And I mean, I'm kind of skipping over some of the stuff. But there's good chemistry and good building up here with this. A little bit earlier in the police station, by the way, there was an IT guy that said, hey, I'm just shooting my shot here. Would you want to go get coffee? No, I'm kind of not really in the mood right now. All right, no worries. Kind of shooting a shot at the wrong goddamn time. But then, this is just what's so funny about all this. And I called it who the fuck it was. But Shaw is, still trying to catch this killer because now that her partner's dead. She's trying to catch the killer. Well, Allie and Jay end up killing Hard Eyes. Shaw takes Jay to the airport. Well, he never made it to the airport. Allie talked to Monica. Monica encouraged Allie to go fight for him. She goes to the airport. He's not there. She ends up hugging some person that I guess looked like him from behind. Oh, I see. They all look alike. Moving on, movie. They basically end up... Allie basically ends up finding out that, oh shit. Hard Eyes is still alive. How the hell? We killed them. Hard Eyes kind of does a Scream-type voice almost. I mean, I wasn't sure how to feel about that, but I guess it sort of makes sense. They're just heaping stuff from, various movies. And basically the idea is come to this church, come alone. And who is it? Who are the killers? It's David, the tech guy, the IT guy. Because of course it is. But he's not the only one. Because Shaw's the other killer. All that stuff about matching, yeah, it turns out all the matching stuff was just, a cover, also a way to find people to get, kills, and also killed somebody with the initials JS, which is what Jay's initials are, tying all this together. St. Valentine's, because there's his statue there. It's like an old dilapidated church that I think is actually somewhere in Seattle now that I think about it. But it would probably be in Idaho, but it didn't seem that depressing to be Idaho. But yeah, why? Why not? Now, this is where the funniest part comes. The end of the movie, basically it's the final scene. Jay is, armbanded, and it seems like, oh my God, everything's fucked. Well, Allie ends up figuring out a way to use this one bullet. The idea is, okay, you shoot him if you don't care about him. You shoot yourself if you care about him. And she finally aims right. Well, she ends up aiming and actually hitting Shaw, but she overcorrects. But Shaw is still alive. She's just gut shot. But then David gets knocked into a bunch of these burning candles and gets all waxy and burnt and stuff like that, which is really hilarious to me. I think so. And one thing I forgot to mention is earlier, there was this thing about a straw. Not the paper straws, but her own straw. She brings a metal straw because she wants to be environmentally friendly, and also she likes having a metal straw. So Shaw is pissed off. This stuff is gonna, she's finally just gonna, kill her for what she did to David, what Allie did to David. Well, then, Shaw basically ends up getting, cut and stabbed through the goddamn, this kind of stuff, stabbed through, and getting the straw, like, this kind of stuff. It's actually really hilarious. At least I thought it was. Straw right through a part where a straw is not intended to go. And her head also falls off because she gets pushed into the Saint Valentine's deal. And, which is really good. Disembodied, all that. Great stuff. David then tries to come back, and then David basically ends up just getting just destroyed, which is hilarious. I mean, it was hilarious to me. I enjoyed this because I thought it was a lot of fun. And then we tie back to, the drive-in. We end up, so basically, they're heroes. They have their own business. Allie is leaving her job to do something else. And her and Jay are together. Jay basically offers a proposal, so to speak. A key instead of a ring. Will you move in with me? I don't want to just move in with you. She proposes to him. But then Monica ends up calling as Hard Eyes. And then she's like, you bitch, how dare you do that? And, and then she's like, oh, I got it. I absolutely got it. And that's it right there. That is the end. That's Hard Eyes right there. Hard Eyes is a lot of fun. A teetotal blast. I enjoyed it. There were things I skipped over, but it's a lot of fun. So, A+ for the entertainment. I had a blast. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Ritland, and I'll see you soon.